What's up, everybody? My name is Kier, and you are watching the important things that really matter. Today, we're going to be talking about, should you date somebody with children? Should you date someone with children? So we're going to get into that. Before we get into that, would you please like, would you please share, and would you please subscribe? Appreciate any help that you give me. I'm giving you some very extremely important information that can end up saving you thousands upon thousands of dollars and also help you to save a whole lot of pain and suffering. So anyway, let's get into it. Anyway, should you date somebody with children? I'm not going to necessarily say you shouldn't, or even if you should. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to present the facts to you and let you make the determination yourself if it's in the best interest of you or not, as to whether you want to decide to date somebody with children or not. Okay? Now, one of the things that you need to take into consideration, which is extremely important, is the cost of children. One child from the age of 0 to 18, from the age of 0 and 18, we're only talking about from the age range of 0 to 18. It's going to cost the average person a little bit over $300,000 from 0 to 18. A little bit over $300,000. Now, before we go any further, we need to ask you a question. And the question to you is this: are you willing to be out of $300,000 because you're helping somebody raise their child? Are you willing to be out of over $300,000 because you are helping somebody else with somebody else's child? Are you willing? Now, what can you do with an extra $300,000 a year? You can do a whole lot. Well, not $300,000 a year, an extra $300,000 in the next 20 years. This will be money that's already in your pocket. But if you're dating somebody that has children, then these are the costs associated with that. So let's say, for instance, you dated the woman and 18 to 20 years go by, where you're more than likely going to be out of about a little bit over $300,000. Okay. So this is something that you need to take in consideration. Are you willing to give up all that money? Are you willing to give up all that money? One of the first things that you need to take into consideration before you start dating somebody with children. I know some guys that they don't care how good the woman looked. The woman could be absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, have a body that's out of this world. And there's some men like, okay, does she have any children? Yes, she got 1 or 2 kids. Don't want to be involved. There are men that are out there. Soon as that person mentions they got a kid or 2, they gone. They out the door. Okay? I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm just presenting the facts to you and letting you make the determination as to, is this going to be in the best of your interest to be bothered with or involved with a woman that has 1 or more children. Okay? So another thing that you need to take in consideration, if you're dealing with a woman who does have children, one of the things that you need to be taking in consideration tremendously, that's going to affect you tremendously, is this: you are going to be the last person on the list to get any love, affection, or any attention. Let me say that again. You are going to be the last person on the list to get any love, affection, or attention from that woman. Who are going to be getting the love, affection, and attention of the woman before you? Well, number one, her children. Her 1 or more children are going to be getting love, affection, and attention before you do, and you may be giving her money. Okay? Her children's going to be getting the love, affection, attention before you. The dog, the hog, and the frog are all going to be getting love and attention and affection before you. Now, after her children, after the dog, the hog, and the frog get love, affection, and attention from her, then it's now your turn to get some love and affection and attention from her after she done already gave it out to the children, the dog, the hog, and the frog. Okay? So are you willing to deal with that? Especially if you're a man that don't have any children. If you don't have any children, Are you willing to deal with that? Being the last person on the list all the time to get some love, affection, and attention? Or are you willing to deal with the fact that it's going to cost over $300,000 to raise one child from 0 to 18? Are you willing to relinquish all the money that's going to go into paying for one child all the way up to the age of 18? Are you willing to deal with that? If you're willing to deal with that, then fine. Now, one of the things I do tell men, if you already have children, it's probably good for you to get with a woman that has children, okay? Because single women may not want to deal with you if you have a child. So the best interest of you is maybe to get with a woman. If you're a man that has children already, you might want to get with a woman that has children already. And that's a good thing, because both of you all know the responsibilities of having children. Both of you all know what's required to have children. Both of you all know how much love and affection and attention that either one of you all are going to get. But if you're a single man, these are things that you need to take in consideration if you want to be bothered with somebody like that. Number three, which is a very, very extremely important point. Do you want to be involved with somebody that's got a baby daddy? If they have children, they're going to probably have one or more baby daddies, okay? It's bad enough to be dealing with a person with one father. It's bad enough to be dealing with a woman who's got at least one baby daddy. It's going to be even worse if you're dealing with a woman that's got two or more baby daddies. In other words, she's got 1, 2, or 3 men that she done had children for, okay? So you now have to deal with not just one baby daddy, you might have to deal with 2 or 3 baby daddies, depending. So, which goes back to what I'm saying before, do you even want to be bothered with somebody with children? So these are things you need to take in consideration. Another situation that you're going to have to take into very, very serious consideration. If you are dating somebody with children, you're not going to be able to say anything to her children at all. Let me say that again. If you're dealing with a woman with children, you are not going to be able to say anything to her children in most cases. Some women may let you say something to her children that might need to be disciplined. But in most cases, you are not going to be able to say anything to that woman's children. If they get out of line or not, you're not going to be able to say anything. All she's going to be expecting you to do is give her some of your money to help support her children by other men. Are you willing to deal with that if you are a single man? Now, some people will say, if you're a single man, why are you being bothered with a woman with children? There's a lot of people will say that. Your own mother would probably say, if you have no children, your own mother would say, why are you going to be bothered with somebody that have children already? Your own mother would say that. And it's a female saying that to you. So your mother, your grandmother will probably say the same thing. Why are you bothered with a woman with children and you have no children? All your money is going to be going towards her and her children. So these are things that you need to take in consideration. Like I said before, some women don't just have one baby daddy. That woman might have 2 or 3 baby daddies. Do you want to deal with that? Now, in one particular situation, I had one of my relatives, I was asking, we happened to be in a conversation about a particular woman that I had, that I was always attracted to years ago. And so me and one of my relatives, we were talking about this particular woman. I'm like, oh, wow, I forgot about her. I said, I ain't seen her in years. I said, yeah, man, I'd like to talk to her. Why don't you give me her number so I can call her up? And so my relative was telling me, you don't want to be bothered with her. I'm like, why do I not want to be bothered with her? The relative of mine told me, you don't want to be bothered with her because she has a child by a drug dealer. I'm like, are you serious? Yes. She said, you do not want to be bothered with that woman because she's got a baby by a drug dealer. Do you want to deal with that? Do you want to be dealing with somebody? Now, the woman that you may be dating, she's not going to tell you that her baby daddy is in that line of work. She may not tell you that one or more of her baby daddies are in that line of work. She's not going to tell you that. You're going to find out if you say something to one of her kids. You're going to find out if one of the baby daddies finds out that you said something to one of his kids. You might get beat up. You might get beat up. You might get beat up real bad. Once again, got to ask yourself this question. If you're a single man with no children, is it in the best of your interest to be involved with a woman with children? Now, I brought up a number of very, very important points. I talked about the fact of how much it costs to raise a child. I talked about the fact that you're going to be the last person on the list to get any love, affection, attention. You may not get any love, affection, and attention after the children, the dog, the hog, and the frog gets all of the love, affection, and attention. You may not get anything. Then on top of that, you can't say nothing to the children. So you may be giving her money and can't say a word to the children. And if you do say something to her children that they have to get out of line, and children will get out of line, teenagers will get out of line sooner or later. Her children are going to get out of line. Her teenagers are going to get out of line sooner or later, where somebody's going to have to say something to them. And if you say something to her children, are you going to have any problems with her? Or are you going to have any problems with one or more of the baby daddies that she had children by? If the guy is out here selling pharmaceuticals, if you know what I mean. All right? You might get beat up, or you might come up missing. Yeah. Are you willing to deal with that? Nah. That's on you. Are you willing to deal with that? You better believe she's not going to tell you that one of her baby daddies is in that lifestyle, or more, might be a couple of her baby daddies might be in that lifestyle. Okay? Which is not a good thing for you, because you might be involved with her, and being involved with her might end up shortening your lifespan. Yep, your lifespan might be really seriously shortened if you're involved with her. So, as I stated before, a relative of mine told me that. I was like, oh no, I don't even want to be bothered with that. Who is dumb enough to have some children by one of these guys? I don't have nothing against if you want, but that kind of tells you about the mindset of the person. If they're willing to have children by somebody that's in that lifestyle, that's kind of letting you know that they're very, very materialistic. And are you going to be able to keep up with her being very materialistic? These are things that you should be looking at. These are things that you should be looking at. So anyway, I'm going to let you make that determination based upon all of the facts and figures that I had just given you. I'm going to let you make the determination on whether it's in the best of your interest to date somebody with children. So, would you please like, would you please share, would you please subscribe, and peace.